Hi there, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Melissa. I'm a marketing specialist here with Encore. And today we're going to be talking about Power Virtual Agents with Ziad and Pierre. So Ziad will start us off. Hi there.
Hey, thank you, Melissa. Hey, my name is Ziad, and I am the Strategic Account Executive with Encore Business Solutions. And really want to talk about and explore a couple things around Power Virtual Agent, which basically resides under the Power Platform family. And we'll kind of follow this agenda here at a high level as to what Power Virtual really is and what the business value of Power Virtual Agent is. Many of the organizations and people we talk to often, will recognize the value of other applications that are there, but maybe not understand clearly as to what Power Virtual Agent can be utilized for. And then to even emphasize it further, we'll do a short little demo here for you guys to show you some of the capabilities and functionality within Power Virtual Agent and how it can be incorporated in your business today. So before I begin, I always try to lay out a landscape of the market that we are in. And the landscape of the market we're in now is that organizations are trying to look for effective ways to essentially deliver their customer service solutions or just even solutions to their customers in general. And customers, on the other hand, are seeking a faster and a more precise, perhaps, support mechanism or self-service portals where they're able to, satisfy some of their requirements and requests from the organizations itself. And a couple of stats here as well in terms of, organizations that behave in terms of a customer-centric or a customer experience view actually perform 80% better than those of their competitors, and 84% of those companies actually have improved their customer experience. Who've improved their customer experience actually generate a very incremental amount of increase in terms of their business revenue as well. And all in all leads to, customer loyalty and brand loyalty and all these other components that are there from a marketing perspective as well. In fact, 5 times more likely that they will purchase from you again than go anywhere else to look for their product as well. And so to shape that kind of landscape in in the world we live in today, and the remote work and all those components that are involved, we introduce as a solution Microsoft Power Platform. And for those of you who are maybe new to Power Platform in general, there's essentially 4 key applications that are embedded inside of this family of products. And so the first one is Power BI. And Power BI really is a business analytical tool, great for using dashboards or creating, interactive real-time applications. Amazing job in terms of generating reports and integrating with the entire Microsoft family as well. And we'll talk more about Power BI as well. We've got lots of different blogs and webinars on our website as well on all of these applications as well. Power Apps, it's basically application development. So there's the ability for you to create canvas versus mobile apps, and again, build solutions out of Power Apps that can essentially be, utilized. And you really don't really need a lot of code. Actually, it follows the no code, low code platform, just as all of these applications do that I've mentioned here right now. Then you've got Power Automate, which really is to automate and create workflows that would, kind of automate the rudimentary task or transactions, and allow, a smoother automation throughout your systems, and talking in between systems as well. So, there's lots of value there in terms of how these workflows can be built. And the focus of today's presentation is really going to be around Power Virtual Agent. And these are intelligent virtual agents, intelligent bots, essentially, that can actually help you, increase the flow of data as well as gain more insights from your customers and the business processes that you've had as well. So just as a recap, here's a screenshot of a Power BI dashboard. You could see the visualizations, the active real-time data that is being synchronized from a whole bunch of different platforms. It's very much data-driven insights that you get and can share out with the entire organization. Power Apps, a similar idea in terms of a effective solution that helps you not only analyze the data but also build certain solutions for it. And the idea is to create applications that will meet and solve your business challenges as well. Power Automate, right? So this is where you can create those productivity workflows and automate the processes in general. And for today's purpose, Power Virtual Agent, which are basically, easily built chat bots that can actually help not only customer facing, but also employees internally. And again, there's no code required here at all, which segues really nicely into, well, what the heck is Power Virtual Agent? And Power Virtual Agent is basically a platform where you can create graphical interfaces and chat bots with not much coding at all or no coding at all, and Pierre will kind of address that as well. You can integrate a whole bunch of different pre-built connectors that are available, as well as create custom type of topics and components that you need as well to suit your business requirements, and essentially then automate that experience by using for example Power Automate to connect that bot to other components or solutions that you have as well. So essentially it allows you to quickly create bots that would essentially do here, let me show you an image as well, essentially do if you, by a few clicks or by certain amount of integration to your systems, can actually be deployed and solve problems for you, using some AI technology as well. So essentially Power Virtual Agent is a software as a service offering, so it's a SaaS offering that will can be embedded in your website, for example. There's no real infrastructure to maintain or any complicated system here in terms of deployment. It's actually very, very user friendly, as well as it allows you to have a fuller experience as it's integrated with, for example, Dynamics 365, let's say customer service, right? And you can bring those insights and get a fuller or holistic view of your customer service, for example, or the trends that are there for how consumers are responding or asking questions, and essentially automating those processes for you. And changing, and you can make those changes in real time once you've collected more data from your customers to be able to fix those bots and modify them as needed. So again, as a recap, right, you can there's lots of components that are involved within Power Virtual Agent that essentially has the business value to you, starting from the ability for your team to essentially build those bots yourself. Like I mentioned, there's not much coding experience or AI experience that's required. You can really get in and start utilizing these bots, and make them work for you. And essentially, you can, reduce the costs by automating those components as well, whether it be the costs of, having an actual person sitting there and filling that role, or instead of allocating resources that way, you can also allocate a scenario where the bot maybe takes the more simpler or smaller issues and then allocate and then escalates the scenario to an actual agent when required, right? You can also authorize it to not solve certain things as well if we need more communication as well. So you can create simple responses here with your bots as well. We'll show you how that's possible. Task automation is a big business value to Power Virtual Agent as well. So you can create, for example, follow-up functions and actions. For example, if you wanted to schedule meetings or assign a particular case, or do surveys, you can initiate all of that through a bot. And again, like I mentioned earlier, with Power Automate, you can then bring in custom workflows and automate the actions as well, so that when the bot is running, with the customer's permission and with your authorization, you can automate the resolution of that case and create an action from your bot as well. So there's the technology's advanced to an extent where we can actually become effective in utilizing that and putting it in front of our customers as well. So and then of course, increase in customer satisfaction, right? From not only these bots being available 24/7, but also this self-service component that customers can come in, ask their questions, have their answers, and then move on and essentially be pleased with the service that's provided. I already, kind of addressed the integration with other systems and how it's very conventional in terms of doing that, and pretty natural and seamless as well. And again, the next slide here, I'm going to talk to you more about what the different components of a Power Virtual Agent is, and then I'll hand it over to Pierre to kind of show you these ideas. But essentially, there's three main components of a Power Virtual Agent. There's topics, entities, and then there can be actions. And topics really are, there's two types of topics. There's system topics that are there innate out of the box, and then there's user topics that are available as well. You can define how those chatbot conversations play out by addressing these topics and putting these topics into the context that's there. And again, like I mentioned, there's templated topics as well as there's others that you can create. So an example of a topic might be open hours, right? And so if someone types in open hours into your chatbot, the AI can actually match that to the topic of, let's say, store hours or office hours, and you could begin a conversation from there, right? And those hours can be displayed, and you can actually have a resolution at the end of it. Entities are also a big part of chatbot conversations. We know that in Power Virtual Agent, the natural language, or understanding the natural language, is very, very crucial, right? And that's the ability for the AI to understand the user's intent, and that's essentially what entities are. So when you define those entities, you can actually put a subject for a dialogue for, and some of these entities, like I said, most of these are out of the box that I've listed here as well, like phone numbers or a name or city or whatever, and others are custom entities that you can have as well. So there's pre-built and custom entities, and again, we can kind of show you where those entities are as well if you need to. The action components are what the chatbot does after it's kind of understood the problem, right? And so this can enable the chatbot to actually perform a specific action, and you can automate these actions as well. And once you've kind of done the automation of the action, essentially the next step is to publish your bot. And once you've published your bot and everything is set, the publishing process will actually, within the publishing process, the bot and the technology that's there will actually check for errors, and when it's published, it'll tell you, all these components were complete. There's no errors that are detected. So it kind of guides you throughout the process of building an effective bot or chat bot. And then once you've done that, you can share your bot. And once you share your bot, you can test it out on a demo web page, for example, right? You can interact with it, play around with some of the phrases that you've put in there and the pre-built functionality that you've enabled, and then when it's ready and you've tried it out, make it live on your website, and then analyze the performance of your bot, right? So you can then take that information that the customers are interacting with, and how the bot is performing, go into the analytics section, which I've highlighted here as well, and understand if the bot is accurately or effectively engaging to resolve user issues, or if the customers are being satisfied by the responses of your bot, and or if it's escalating correctly or appropriately as you need to. And there's all these different ways you can do that. And then in fact, there's actually even a file that you can download that you can see the history and the transcription of the conversations that have taken place, and then you can adjust your bot and the content to improve continuously. So that's the high level overview of Power Virtual Agent and its ability to enhance business processes and business conversations that happen with employees as well as customers. With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Pierre, who's going to do a demo of the power abilities of Power Virtual Agent as well.
Thank you, Ziad. Good morning, everybody. My name is Pierre Menegre, and I'm a technical pre-sales consultant with Encore. So today, the bot experience I'm going to show you is focused on a bot created inside of Microsoft Teams. Ziad was giving a great overview as well of web bots. So this is what that canvas looks like. And you can activate a 30-day free trial if you did want to experiment with that. And the Microsoft Teams bot are available within the context of your Teams license. So this might be a great starting point for you. And what you need to do in order to engage with the bots for the first time, so here I have the Power Virtual Agent app installed, but within Microsoft Teams, if you could type it here to see if you can find the app, but you might have to click on More Apps, which will then take you to this page, and then you can just type Power Virtual Agent. And then when you click on that, it's going to have an install button. In my case, it says open because I created or installed the application already. However, it will need to install an environment, so there is potential that you might need to get your IT's assistance on this if you don't have the appropriate permissions to complete the task. But once you have that done, then you're able to create bots. And so what I want to do first is show you the human resources support bot that I created before taking you to the Canvas Studio and then showing you how the bot itself was created and how simple it is. So this particular HR bot responds to a few simple queries, and it's a conversational bot, but it doesn't always fully understand. So there is some mechanisms built in there to write the path, if you will, if it is confused by something you're saying. So here I'm just going to ask it, what are the national holidays? And we'll see if it's, yeah. So here's a list of the Canadian national holidays that I created when I set up the bot, and you're going to see how I did that in just a moment. And then what it does afterwards is it just wants to confirm if it did in fact answer your question. So you could say yes or no in this case. So I will say yes, and then what it does is it says, please rate your experience from 1 to 5. And so as Ziad mentioned earlier with the analytics portion, this is why you have that quick survey mechanism built in so that you can start getting some analytics around how satisfied your users are with the particular bot. And so here I'm going to ask, there's 2 more questions that I have in this scenario, and the next question is around vacation time. Okay, so let's rate that again. All right. Okay, so we'll get it to help again. And yeah, so they, a lot of times when the bot is gathering the information that it needs or is waiting on the service to respond, it gives the impression that it's actually typing. So it shows that the user that it is still retrieving the data, so that at least when you have some delays in the bot, it kind of gives the impression that it's typing. So we're all used to waiting for other people to type. And all right, so I didn't find a related topic on that. I will try that again. And we'll see. It should actually come up with a multiple choice option when it doesn't understand the query, but it is possible there's some confusion happening right now with some earlier testing sessions that I was doing. And so the system is just retrieving right now. And there's a number of different bots that you can create as well. So within Microsoft Teams, you can use something called FAQ Plus, which will allow you to create a frequently asked questions database. A lot of times you can also use existing information that you have in the form of PDFs or user manuals. So you can import the content of those items into your bot, and then it will go ahead and yeah, so it will go ahead and it will create a series of questions and answers based on the content of what you've imported. And then you can refine those decision trees further in another dashboard. So there is quite a bit of ways for you to get a good sizable content bot in order to go ahead and help you with creating this content and giving it to your users. So now I've chosen the option for the paid vacation. And so it's routing me to the corporate website and telling me that there I can find a report from HR that will go ahead and provide me how many, the details of the vacation time I have left and how to book that vacation through the company process. So here I'm going to say that, yes, you did answer my question. And I'm going to rate it poorly because of the confusion the bot had earlier. And so here I'm going to say no thanks. So just to terminate this session, so the final example I want to show you before I dive into the dashboard itself and what that looks like is within my, for a user specifically that's looking to have extended leave. So here, what we're going to do is invoke Power Automate, just as, okay, so again, this bot's a little confused. So this is going to invoke an automation that is going to say, okay, well, extended leave needs HR expert approval, so let me connect you with them. So how would you describe the issue? And so the automation that I've chosen, I said, okay, take the entire context of this text message that I'm going to send and then post it in a Teams channel. So here I'll just say I need extended leave to take care of a parent. And so the bot is going to go ahead and just provide that and say, okay, we have notified the experts. So here, if within Teams, we can go to this HR experts. And as you can see, it's now posted this request in the HR experts team. In terms of privacy issues, you can activate channel level permissions. So the HR experts channel could be set to private and only allow the HR team access to that. So that's how you would accomplish that if you did choose to use this particular example in your organization. So now, if we go back to our Power Virtual Agents Teams application, I can show you quickly how this bot came together. And so here we look at this HR experts or HR support chat bot, and I'm just going to click on the edit screen. And now Arisu gave you, Ziad gave you a great primer in the different the three areas where you need to create. So there's topics, which we're going to go to the topics, and here is an employee time off topic that I created. And you can also click on analytics and also go to the authoring canvas. So I'm going to just quickly click here, and so these are the topic phrases that are currently active. And you can create additional phrases if there's too many issues with the application not understanding. There is some leeway that it does build in based on language understanding, but as you saw, it does also need a fairly robust access of different ways of saying a certain topic so that it goes ahead and it can understand and interpret that information. And so now we'll just wait a moment while it brings up the canvas. So it's a very straightforward canvas where you have your trigger phrases, and then afterwards it says, okay, you just click a plus sign to continue activating further down the tree. So here I just have a message item that I put in there, and I can just type in manually what I want that to be. And oh, there's the plus symbol when you want to add a node. So as you can see, there's no code really necessary here. Basically, again, I want to ask a question, so I added a question node with the multiple choices and have the three choices attached. And as you add options, it automatically creates these branches for you. So again, you don't really need to do anything there. What you do want to do when you get to these conditions is you want to click this little edit pencil, because it is going to name everything a default function or a default type. So you want to give it a good name so that you're not having type 1, type 2, type 3, and so on. You want to make it meaningful so that as you're creating these bots that you're able to ascertain what the different functions are doing in which particular bot. And so here are the condition paid vacation. I just created a message again node and just copied and pasted my message in here that I want them to go to the HR website, and then ending the conversation with a survey. And then I go ahead and in the second condition, here we have national holidays. So again, I just created this as a message, national holidays for 2021. And you can just copy and paste these and update them each year. And then again, ending the conversation with a survey. And then finally, we go to, just see if I can move this over. Oh, I guess we'll go this way. And then, so if we move this, oh, there we go. So here we ask a question again. How would you like to, or pardon me, would you like to describe the issue? And here I have user's entire response. So basically there is a description for text, and you saw when I typed in my message in the Microsoft Teams channel that it went ahead and used that information to post into the HR experts private channel. And so here is where I start invoking Microsoft Power Automate and basically have it retrieve the value from the text value that is up here, and then go ahead and message that over to the Teams channel. And then, so here, if I click on View Details, it's going to go ahead and open up this the automation here. And so as you can see, these are the different runs and successes from that. And I'm just going to quickly click the back button. And then after the automation is done, we end it with that same conversation and survey right here. So this example is available online as well. And if you want to pursue that, we can provide it for you later, or you can go ahead and find it in the Microsoft documentation. And yeah, it's incredibly straightforward, very easy to quickly get up and running. And again, very minimal investment on your part, especially if you're dealing with the context of the Microsoft Teams deployment, because a lot of times those licenses are already built in to what you're currently paying for. So that's the end of our demonstration today. I guess I'll pass it back to Melissa in case we have any questions in the river.
Great, thank you so much, Pierre. I haven't seen any questions coming through, but of course, if anyone does have questions, please feel free to contact us. And yeah, that was really interesting. Thank you so much to both, Ziad and Pierre. And I guess we can close this off. So I hope everyone has a good afternoon.